We got a brand new update from Naughty Dog CEO Neil Druckman and about his future in the games industry. We're going to be talking about how this affects the Last of Us franchise and what this means for the future of Naughty Dog. So I'm reading this article from VGC and it states, Last of Us director Neil Druckman says he doesn't think he has many more big games left in him. Neil Druckman says, I guess that I don't see myself doing this forever at this scale, he said. It's just a lot and it takes a lot out of you. It's very stressful to manage that many people and multiple studios worldwide. He then goes on to talk about his family and he says, I know that especially my daughter now is 13 and I feel like life is pulling me away from her, and I know that time is limited, so it's very precious to me and I don't want to waste it when they do want to spend time with me, and that's number one. I'm just at a point in my life where it's like you start looking at what's the end game here and when is it time to call it. Neil Druckman then referenced Quentin Tarantino and how Quentin Tarantino said that he wants to make 10 big films in his career and then call it a day. And Neil Druckman then said, but you know, I've started thinking about how many more of these games do I have in me, and it's not that many. So it seems like after The Last of Us Part 3, The Last of Us HBO show, and the next big Naughty Dog game, which is in development right now, Neil Druckman will likely be done with the games industry when it comes to actually developing games, or maybe even developing big games. Perhaps he'll go on to make smaller games or continue his career in the TV industry, but only time will tell. But it does seem from this interview with Rapper Logic that Neil Druckman is looking at the end game for his career and kind of figuring out what the next steps are. Now, looking at the Last of Us franchise, we know that we've still got many seasons of the Last of Us HBO show left, and we still have, which was recently confirmed to have a concept, The Last of Us Part 3. Neil Druckman also stated not long ago that The Last of Us probably has one more chapter left, which will likely finish off the series, as the multiplayer game The Last of Us Online, The Last of Us Factions, was cancelled by Sony and Naughty Dog as it was taking too many resources. But because this Last of Us multiplayer game was taking too much resources and now that it's been cancelled, it kind of has fast-tracked The Last of Us Part 3 slightly more, as it would have been released even later than it is going to be released right now. So it looks like Naughty Dog's next game will be their brand new IP, which Neil Druckman also said that this next game is really ambitious and its creation is really hard on him and the team over at Naughty Dog. He even talked about the idea of this next game being really hard, and he knows that putting it into fruition and actually getting this game made is going to really stress the team out. But I do want to give this next Naughty Dog game its own video, so stay tuned for that. Like this video so it reaches more people and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out. Now, we also know that Sony does give Naughty Dog a lot of freedom, but there are rumors that they still want to continue their franchises, with rumors going around and even a little tease in a previous PlayStation trailer that they may be making Uncharted 5 with a different PlayStation studio. Now, even though The Last of Us Part 3 will likely be the last in the Last of Us franchise and be the last Last of Us game by Neil Druckman and his current team, it's likely that Sony would want to make another Last of Us game post The Last of Us 3. Again, there are rumors for Uncharted 5 with a different development studio. There's also rumors of a God of War spin-off game with Atreus being the lead, which may be announced this year, and they've even made a spin-off of the Horizon franchise with the VR game and likely have more spin-offs in the future. So it shows that Sony doesn't want to end certain franchises, maybe give them a break like they are doing with the Uncharted series, but that's likely to make its return with the PlayStation 5 generation. And even though The Last of Us Part 3 will likely be a PlayStation 6 game or be a game at the end of the PlayStation 5 life cycle, it's likely that the future of The Last of Us will be in the hands of a different developer. Now, just because Neil Druckman may leave after The Last of Us Part 3 and the next Naughty Dog IP, we'll likely have a new head at the table over at Naughty Dog who may also want to make a Last of Us game and continue the franchise with a prequel or likely a brand new story set in the universe. So let me know what you guys think about Neil Druckman potentially leaving and being done with creating games after the new Naughty Dog IP and The Last of Us Part 3. Remember to stay tuned for a video about the Naughty Dog new IP, and we've also got some more Last of Us updates on this channel, so go ahead and check them out. I'll leave some in the description and in the pinned comment section below. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Peace out, God bless, and I hope to see you in one of my next videos. Take care, guys.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vague.